episode 40 of the Graceful Tangle podcast. I'm Amy Kate, a young but passionate knitter and crocheter. Thank you so much for joining me. Welcome back if you're a returning subscriber, and hello and welcome if you're new. I am so glad you're here. You can find the links to everywhere you can find me on social media in the description box below, so be sure to check all of those out. You will also be able to find the link to the show notes for this podcast, which you can find over on my blog. So I've included a link to those down below, and I actually have them pulled up right over here on my own computer. So if you see me glancing over there, that is why, because I have so many things to talk about yet again this week, and I don't want to forget a single one of them. So I have some finished objects to share, quite a few works in progress, some super exciting news related to designing. So yeah, let's just hop right into it today with some finished objects. Alrighty, so before we talk about some finished objects, let me just say I hope you all had a wonderful Valentine's Day if you celebrate. Today is actually Valentine's Day. I'm recording this on Sunday and you'll see it on Tuesday, so I hope you're having a great day. I totally meant to say that in the intro and I just forgot, so anyway, I hope you had a great day if you celebrated. We've done a couple little things, but we never really celebrate Valentine's Day that much. My parents actually exchanged gifts this morning, which was super sweet. They haven't done that always, so that was really sweet. But anyway, so finished objects. My first finished object is actually two of them. So last week I updated, kind of like, not completely redid it because it's definitely still a very similar pattern and the same concept. But I just re-released my Sweetheart Pillow pattern, and I used different yarn to make it different and exciting. And this is what they look like. So these use We Crochet Fable Fur yarn, which I am completely addicted to. Oh my goodness, this was my first time using it, and I need to do a full review on this yarn because it's a very unique yarn. I was really concerned that I wasn't going to enjoy working with it very much because it's very difficult to see your stitches, and that's totally true. It definitely is difficult to see, but at the same time, it's also so intuitive to know where to insert your hook, and it was so much fun to crochet with. The fabric is just unreal. I mean, you can't even tell that it's crocheted at all, which is just insane to me. I'm going to talk about this a little bit later, but I actually have a blanket completely prepped and ready for it, and I'm so excited about it. So more projects are definitely going to be happening in Fable Fur, and I am super excited about them. This pink is the colorway Paloma, and then this gray, I'm not entirely sure what it is. I think this one might be Lupin or Lapin. I'm not 100% sure, don't quote me on that, but I will link the yarn down below so you can check those things out for yourself. So you can find this pattern in my Etsy and Ravelry shops, and be sure to check it out if you haven't already because I am so excited with how it turned out. And they're just the cutest little kind of heart stuffies. I love them so much. Alrighty, and then my next finished object is my Boxy Sweater. So I talked about last week how I knit this sweater a while back, but I wanted to add a little bit of length to it just to make it a little bit more cozy and a little bit more, I guess, modest for wearing out. And the way that I want to wear it is with leggings. And when I'm wearing leggings, I typically like to have the sweater go past my, or the, shirt, whatever I'm wearing, go past my bottom. And so this didn't quite do that. And so it was the perfect length for, like, pants, jeans, stuff like that. But I knew the look that I wanted to achieve with this sweater, and I couldn't quite do it with the length that it was. And I had about 100 grams of the yarn left. So I added all of that into the sweater, and I am so happy I did because it is absolutely perfect now. I love it so much. So I mentioned last week how I was able to add length, and basically when I knit this sweater a year ago, I started up here instead of way at the bottom and did a provisional cast on. I then went ahead and did all of the shoulder shaping, all of that jazz that Hobby calls for in this pattern, and then once I finished all of that, I picked up my provisional cast on and made the length of the body how I wanted it. Or in my case, how I thought I wanted it. And I was incorrect. But anyway, I love this so much. There is a little bit of like a color contrast. You can probably see it is showing up very well on camera, and it is not that stark in real life at all. I mean, you really can't even tell in person, so it's crazy that it's picking up that much on camera. But anyway, I love this sweater so much. I am a little bit nervous about the bind off. It's kind of an issue that I've had with ribbing from the get-go. This ribbing isn't very long. It's not supposed to be. But I bound off in knit, so not in rib. I knew I didn't want it to be in rib. But I bound off in knit using the same size needle, and I'm thinking I might should have gone a size down, and that would have made it, not flip up, because it kind of flips up like this, and I'm also going to block it, and so maybe that'll help too. But yeah, anyway, I'm not worried about it being a little bit tight at the bottom, because, I mean, as you can see, this is like literally 2.5 times the width of my body. That's exactly how this sweater is designed, and I love it so much for that reason. So I'm really, really happy that it is done again and that I can wear it now. That line is really bothering me on the camera, but it's not that bad in person. I don't understand why I don't know. Anyway, that is why you alternate skeins. You live and you learn, right? But yeah, so other than that, I followed the pattern pretty much to a T. I just did the sleeves how long I wanted them. I'm not exactly sure how long she calls for them to be, but you can definitely alter that. I did do a ribbed collar instead of a garter collar. I actually forgot to mention that last time. I think she calls for a stockinette rolled collar actually, which I have done before. I really prefer the look of a ribbed collar, and I also really like my collars to fit closer to my neck rather than like out open. And so I decided to change that and do a ribbed collar, and I'm so happy I did because I love that. That was something that I did, a year ago when I first knit this though, so I didn't change anything about that. But yeah, absolutely love this sweater. I'm really looking forward to wearing it now. So happy I took the time to make that modification and fix it and make it how I wanted to so that it would be more wearable. And it was so much fun to knit too. The Boxy Sweater is so mindless, and it's so much stockinette. And though that can be, a little bit cumbersome at times just because it's a lot of stitches on the needle, it was so nice because I could just go around and around, and it was perfect for watching TV downstairs, and just when you needed something mindless to work on, it was awesome. So I really need to have another project like this on the go that's that simple, so that I can use it like I used this for that week that I was working on it. Alrighty, so that is that sweater, and that is it for finished objects. So just a couple things, but those were the two things that I really wanted to get done this week, so I'm really, really happy that I was able to do that, especially the Boxy. I actually have another sweater that I'm going to talk about in just a second that I am hoping to do that same modification to, just add some length to the bottom, and I'm hoping to finish that up this week. So let's just go ahead and talk about some works in progress. Alrighty, so I have multiple works in progress to share with you guys again this week. Last week's work in progress section was pretty lengthy. It was probably the longest whip section that I've had since I've started podcasting, because I was working on so many things, but it feels so good. I feel like I'm finally kind of at that point in terms of, my creative journey, I guess, where I can be focused on multiple things at the same time, and I'm not as overwhelmed if I'm working on multiple things or if I have a lot of whips. There's, a beauty in working in a whole lot of things at the same time and being monogamous and only working on one thing. And there are so many benefits to both of those. However, as a designer, it is really important for me to have a design on the go or multiple designs, and then to have something that's from another designer or a mindless project or a pair of socks or something along those lines that I don't have to think about as much, because sometimes you really want to knit or you really want to crochet, but you don't want to have to put that much thought into it because you've put that much thought into so many other things. So anyway, got a little bit preachy there for a second, but my point is I have loved having multiple whips so far this year, and it's kind of something that I want to continue. The only thing is I really need to find a better way to store them because a pile in my floor is not really cutting it for me. I think I need to find like some sort of decorative bin or something that I can just put like right here in this corner. Yeah, I think I need to do that. Even something like a laundry hamper would be fine, and there are some really cute laundry hampers nowadays, so maybe that'll work. Anyway, so my first work in progress is my commission socks. So I shared these last week. I'm using Oath Yarns Unique in their Pantone Color of the Year yarn. Here is one of the cakes. And again, I am still working on the product review for this. I do plan on creating that video. I have just had no time to do it, and I want to finish these socks first. So, hoping to have some time to do that this week. Either way, I'm gonna make like at least a blog post or a Instagram post over on my Instagram page. So be sure to follow me on those places. YouTube videos are so awesome. It's just something that you have to kind of plan ahead for and put a lot of time into each video. And sometimes I just don't have time for that during the week. And especially since these are commissioned, they're not going to be staying with me. So it's kind of, you know, I got to give them to the person, but I also want to do this other thing related to them. It just gets a little bit complicated, like most things in my life nowadays. But anyway, I do have the first sock finished, and I'll actually put it on this blocker. I think I had this finished last week. I totally meant to finish these this week, and I just did not have the time. My plans changed, and so I didn't have enough time to work on these in order to finish them. But I think they'll get done this week, which is awesome. I'm not really on a deadline for them. I'm just on like a self-imposed kind of get them done as soon as you can. It's just something about commissions, you know, it's so fun and I'm so grateful for them, but it can be a lot to handle and it's a little bit stressful to kind of have that, you know, obligation when you're so busy with so many other things. So anyway, still really grateful. This is the first sock. These are the heel toe do-si-do socks by Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady. I am knitting the size medium. And then I also, let's see, did I make any other? For the heel, I did an afterthought heel, which I'm really enjoying. And then I just added a few rounds of stockinette after picking up those stitches so that it would give a little bit more, add a little bit more fabric for the instep, because that is usually where socks get a little bit tight. And then I'm just working on the second one. So I really don't remember how much I had done last week, but I have placed the heel yarn. So this is what I'm going to pick up and rip out for my afterthought heel once I get to that point. So the leg is completely done, and now I am just working along the foot. So these are super, super quick. They're so smooth going. Yeah, it really does not take that long. One sock takes me about 5 hours, start to finish, which, you know, is obviously a lot of time, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not that bad. And I'm really grateful for that. So I'm hoping to get this done sooner rather than later. I also just love this pattern so much. It's just so fun. I love how different it looks versus stockinette and this pattern, and how you can kind of see both in one pair of socks. It's super duper fun. And then I am using size 1 2.25 millimeter needles for these, which leaves me. Thank you for all of your needle suggestions in the comments of the last podcast episode. They're all super helpful. I talked about how I was thinking about trying out the Knitter's Pride Zing Magic Loop needles. Well, I guess circular needles, so that I could use them for Magic Loop. And one person actually recommended that I don't try them, and I want to hear any and all suggestions. Like, even if even if I'm talking about an idea that I think is good and you don't, I still want to hear it, because I, love hearing y'all's opinions, especially about these types of things, because, I've never tried those needles, and that person had. So the join is what I was nervous about, and it seems like that is what she was nervous about too. I was also able to look at a pair at my local yarn store this past week, and I love the way they look. I'm just nervous that they're a little bit too dull for my taste, because that's what I was noticing when I was looking at them in the package. So I don't know. I might end up just, kind of biting the bullet and paying the $10 for Chiagu because that is what I love so much. I have knit a hair into this sock. That's lovely. Anyway, so that might be what I end up doing. I also have found, and this is kind of an interesting little fact, I do not mind doing magic loop for socks. Now, I generally don't do magic loop for any other form of knitting other than socks. I really prefer to just knit in the round, without joining. But for socks, I have really come to enjoy magic loop a lot. And I think part of that is just how small the needles are and how small the yarn is. But anyway, I have found that I do not mind knitting with 24-inch circulars for magic loop for socks. I think it's something about the number of stitches that you have to have. It just doesn't bother me at all, which is super cool. And I'm really glad that I kind of found that out because I don't love having to deal with a big cable. And 24 is obviously less than 32, and so that's even less cable to manage. So yeah, I am hoping to purchase some needles soon and really grow my collection of 2.25 millimeter needles because it is just not big enough right now for how many projects I'm working on constantly that require this size needle. It's not big enough. So I'm hoping to do that soon, and I'm also hoping to finish these soon. And again, I'm going to try to avoid a huge mess this week. I kind of succeeded last week, but only kind of. We're hoping to improve week by week. I'm still going to have a pile, but maybe I can put, things I've talked about over here, things I haven't talked about over here. I'm a mess. I am a mess. Okay. My next work in progress is my Like a Cloud sweater. So I mentioned in the past couple of weeks that I was kind of wanting to finish this in February and make it be like my February sweater and knit a sweater a month. Yeah, that is not going to happen. We have 1 week left. Is that right? No, we have 2 weeks. Yes, 2 weeks left in February. Thank goodness. I feel like this month is just flying by. I can blame that on school. But anyway, so I had the idea to, knit a sweater a month and let this be my February sweater. I knit all of 2 rows on this. And that was this morning. So, obviously, it's not going to be done in February, but that is totally okay. I am still enjoying it. I just haven't had as much time to knit on it as I would like, which I feel like I said that last week. So, I've really just got to bite the bullet and put some work into this. But I absolutely love it. It has not changed much at all since last week, so I'm not going to talk about it for long. Again, size 6 needles, the Like a Cloud sweater by Hui Locatelli. I'm knitting the size extra small or small, whichever is the smallest in the pattern. Yeah, extra small. And I'm using Sobella yarn in 2 different colors. The pink is Knitflix, and the pink is Mohair, and then the green is, wow, I cannot, it's like On the Trail, maybe, I think that might be right. Every single time I see this green, the immediate thought that comes to mind is No Trail to Follow, and I don't even know what that's from. It bothers me so much when I think of something like that, and then I keep thinking about it, and I have no recollection as to what it's actually from. Maybe it's like a show or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's what I think of when I look at that yarn, but it's not that. I think it's called On the Trail. But anyway, here is what they look like in cake form. Again, I am just a broken record with this project right now because it has not had much love at all. But I have been so busy. So I'm hoping to have some time to work on that very soon. I have one other sweater that I am wanting to make a modification to that I'm going to talk about next. And once that is done, I'm going to be able to put all of my knit sweater time into this. So that'll be super exciting. Oh, I left the pattern out. Let's fix that before I lose it because that would be very unfortunate. Alrighty, so again, I modified the Boxy Sweater to make it a little bit more wearable, and now I am doing that to another sweater that I finished. So this is my Oceana Sweater. I test knit this sweater for Jacqueline C. Slack. Gosh, how long ago was that? It was probably about a year, honestly. I can't believe that I'm saying that to so many things that happened last year, but it might have been, it was less than a year ago, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But anyways, I knit this as a test knit, and I did the cropped version. I love this sweater. It is perfectly fine the way it is. It's super cute as a cropped sweater. And I actually have a couple of rompers that it is so cute over. But I decided that I wanted to add just a little bit more length to this section at the bottom. Just a few inches to make it, again, a little bit more wearable so that I can wear it with pants and things like that. This one is still going to be short. Like, I'm not going to wear it with leggings. But I think I would prefer to wear it with pants or jeans. And so if it's a little bit longer, I would feel more comfortable doing that. So yeah, that is going to be the next thing that I changed. I was actually hoping to pick up the stitches and kind of get started on that last night, and I just didn't have enough time to do that. But yeah, so this is the Oceana Sweater. Absolutely love it. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous sweater made in a gorgeous yarn. This is, where did I put that bag? Oh no, oh, it's over here. Oof. Let's see if I have it. Yeah, so this is Cascade Pacific Worsted in the color 62. So they don't have color names, they just have numbers. But it's a gorgeous kind of silvery charcoal gray. Just a beautiful staple in my wardrobe. And I really want to finish this sweater because I've been wanting to wear it all winter. I just wanted it to be a little bit longer. The sleeves are like magical. They fit so well. So yeah, it would just be so warm and cozy to wear. And I really want to wear it. So I'm going to add that length this week. Hoping to have that all finished again next week. We'll just have to stay tuned and see how that goes. I'm going to go ahead and put it in this project bag actually so that I can get started on that this afternoon, hopefully, if I can find the time to do that. So, yeah, that is another sweater that I'm hoping to modify just a little bit to make it, again, more wearable. I'm really glad that I'm taking the time to do that because, you know, it's kind of painful to rip back something that you put so much time and effort into. But at the same time, I'm only ripping out the bind off. It's not that big of a deal. And I'm going to wear it so much more. I know I am. Alrighty, my next work in progress, and I believe this is my last one. Yes, this is my last work in progress. And this is actually a new cast on, a new project. So, I have this yarn, and I'm just going to go ahead and get out a couple skeins so that I can really show it to you. Let's see, do I have a new skein? Yes. Well, this isn't new, but it'll work. So this is Hobby Lobby's Yarn Bee Andy's Alpaca. This is the colorway Copper Rose, and this one is City Beat. So these are two yarns that I got on clearance at Hobby Lobby a long time ago. And I love them so much. I love both of the colors so much. And I have about 5 skeins of each. And so it wasn't enough to do like a full cardigan or sweater, which is what I wanted to do, in just one color. And so I decided to combine them and do a striped crochet cardigan. So I finished the back panel last night, and this is what it looks like. I'm just making up this cardigan. I took some measurements, kind of figured out what I wanted it to look like, and just went for it. And so I am fully enjoying it. This is the bottom. Let me show you the top. So as you can see, even though the colors are obviously very different, they also go together so well, and I'm just in love with how this looks. It is so long, which is exactly what I was going for. It's going to be a little bit oversized with a drop shoulder, which is my absolute favorite style. Let me actually see if I can stand up and show you. Okay, so let's see. This is where, I know you can't see the top of me, but this is, up here is where it's going to actually hit. And so it goes all the way down to like my mid-calf. Okay, I actually did not think it was that long. I'm short, guys, I'm short. But anyway, so here it is folded in half. So there, now you can see the colors a little bit more. So this is the Copper Rose. This is the City Beach, and I'm just doing like a full skein, which is 13 rows, as like a panel. And then this is just gray in that same yarn. I'm not entirely sure what the colorway name is, but I have long lost the label. It's probably just gray or something like that, but it's just a solid gray, and I'm just doing one stripe of that. I only have one skein of the gray, and so I had to really stretch it because I want it to last for the whole cardigan. And so I'm just doing one stripe in between each color, and it's going really well. I'm absolutely loving this project. It's super mindless. I think it's going to be a gorgeous cardigan once it's finished, and that's exactly what I wanted. So I am really, really excited about this project. Next up are the front panels, and so I'm going to be getting those made soon, and then I will move on to the sleeves, which is always super exciting. I love Sleeve Island because it means that the sweater is almost done, and then I can almost wear it. I'm super excited about that project, and I have been wanting to use that yarn for so long, and I am so glad that I have finally started a project and am loving it that uses the yarn. So it's going to be a long, drapey, oversized, beautiful cardigan, and I cannot wait to show it to you when it is finished. So that's kind of my backup plan, I guess, because this will definitely be done before February ends, unless like something crazy happens. But so that's like my February sweater, because I know I'm not going to be able to get like a cloud done, because it's a lot more knitting than that crochet project is. So yeah, that's super exciting. And that is it for Works in Progress. Again, I had so much to talk about. But now I do have a couple of little design things that I wanted to share, and some super awesome news that I want to share in devotion. So let's just go ahead and hop right into that. Okay, so for design talk today, I'm going to share a design that I'm going to be working on very soon, and that is the blanket in Fable Fur. So I have two swatches made for this new design. This is the one, so I made both of these. They're a little bit different in size, and this is the one that I'm going with. It's just, this is going to be a super basic single crochet blanket that uses Fable Fur. I am so stinking excited about this project. I did all of the math for it yesterday. I know, exactly what I'm going to do for the pattern. It's going to be a free pattern, which is super exciting. I'm really happy about that. And yeah, it's going to be super simple, which again is why it's going to be free, because it's going to be beginner friendly. But the yarn is just going to be able to shine, and that's exactly what I was going for with this project. So I'm really looking forward to being able to start this, and I love it so much. I have a brand new pattern releasing tomorrow, so stay tuned for that, because I have been wanting to release this one for so long, and I'm so glad that it is finally here, that the time has finally come. I've had it planned for forever, and yeah, I absolutely love how it turned out, so stay tuned for that. And I have one other thing that I want to talk about that's kind of related to designing, but I want to do that as a devotional this week, so let's just go ahead and talk about that. Okay guys, so a couple of weeks ago I shared that I submitted patterns to We Crochet for their Winter 2021 magazine. And I talked about how, nerve-wracking it was. If you are new around here, I submitted patterns to We Crochet last year. And, I was proud of the submissions that I submitted. I was super confident and expectant, but unfortunately none of them were accepted. And I say unfortunately because it is disappointing, but it led to growing so much more and learning how to improve. And so even though that disappointment was really hard to swallow, I'm grateful for it because I learned so much through it. Guess what I just realized in real time? I completely forgot to talk about another work in progress. You want to just do it? I'm going to leave you hanging. Oh my goodness. Let's do it. It won't take long. Okay, so this is my sock. This is my February socks. I am knitting a pair of socks a month for 2021. And this is my finished first February sock. So these are the Expelliarmus Socks by Julie of Princess Designs. I think I'm saying that right. Not 100% sure. But I absolutely love this pattern so much. This is Knit Picks Stroll Tonal in Seashell for the pink. And then this gray is Ash. And I just love these so much. So I have the first one done. and the ribbing on the second one. And again, I am using 2.25 millimeter needles for these as well. And I'm fully enjoying them. I've kind of dubbed these in my Valentine socks, even though I'm not actually wearing them on Valentine's Day. It's just kind of, what I've been thinking about all month. So, anyway, how's that for a tangent? At least I didn't completely forget to talk about that project. Anyway, so back to devotion and design. So, again, that was fun. I completely left it all hanging, didn't I? I'm getting too much of a laugh out of that. But anyway, so I submitted those patterns a few weeks ago, and I was kind of cautiously excited. I really wanted to get some positive feedback, and, the answer yes. But, of course, I was not expecting the worst. In a sense, I didn't have faith that it was going to happen, but I was just preparing for them to not be accepted, I guess. Well, one of my patterns was accepted, and I am over the moon excited. So we are, me and some people at We Crochet are working out logistics, and I'm going to be actually starting that design very soon. The turnaround time is super duper quick, so I'm going to have to get on it and work hard to get that design done and submitted to them. I'm not going to be able to actually talk about it with you guys because it has to be completely secret until winter. Until winter comes again. We are definitely in the midst of winter, but until winter comes again. So I'm so excited and so thrilled to be able to experience this, new journey, a new opportunity for designing, and just being a part of the Big Crochet team is something that I have been wanting to do for so long, and I'm just so, so grateful for this opportunity. So thank you so much to everyone who prayed or just sent good thoughts. They mean the absolute world, and reading your messages just makes my heart so full. So thank you so much for your support every single week, for every video, every subscriber. Just know that I'm so appreciative of you, and I'm so grateful for you. So that kind of leads me into another thing that I wanted to talk about for devotion, and that is just being in the moment. So I'm kind of one of those people who really likes to plan ahead and know what to expect, and have a plan from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed, and then do the same thing all over the next day. While that is so, leads me to be productive and get a lot of things done in a day, it can also lead to always being so focused on the task at hand or the next thing I have to do versus, again, being in the moment and being, grateful for what's happening and looking forward to growth, but also not taking advantage of what I do have right now. So I have been listening to a song by Jeremy Camp that is called Keep Me in the Moment, which, is why I'm thinking about all of this. But one of the lyrics in that song is, keep me in the moment because I don't want to miss a single thing you have for me, or, at least something along those lines. I am not a singer, but I sing along to this song, and I can't really think of it without singing it, and I'm not about to sing on camera because it would just not be very pretty. But anyway, the point of that song is to keep yourself in the moment because we don't want to miss a single thing that God has for us. And that is so true. And it's something that you really have to fix your mind on. When the things of this world, it, again, can be easy to go from one thing to the next and try to make up your own plan and do the thing that you want to do or want to look forward to. But you've got to commit to God and to commit to what He has for you, because I don't know about you, but I do not want to miss a single thing, a single moment, a single idea, a single little bitty piece of one of my days that He has laid out in a way that He wants me to see, because His plan is so good and will always come to pass. And that's something that I am continually learning, and sometimes His plan isn't exactly what we want to hear or see or experience, but it's something that He knows that we need to go through so that we can grow closer to Him. So as I embark on this new journey of being in a magazine and having my pattern in such an exciting place, I'm going to, work hard at this and also seek further opportunities, but at the same time be in the moment and bask in this excitement and absolute and utter gratitude for everything that he has done and will do. So as always, I hope that encourages you. I love kind of talking with these devotions with you guys, and I hope that you guys do too. I always want them to be encouraging and inspiring and kind of be, you know, your almost midweek or whenever you watch this uplift, just to, you know, kind of power through this next week. But a little bit of a life update, I guess. I had a really big school week last week, but I did it. I got all of my assignments done. Sometimes I just don't know how it happens. I really don't. It's like, you know, you get to Friday and you hope you can get everything submitted, and then by some miracle you do, and you're like, oh, where did it go? What happened? I had a huge exam on Friday, but it went well. It went good. I, you know, studied really hard for it, and my you know, my grade could have been a little bit higher, but at the same time, I'm still confident in that course and in that subject, and that is really important. I had another English essay due, so I did that. Really looking forward to today when I don't have to worry about another English essay, because it's just, I don't know. I enjoy writing essays, I really do, but, yeah, I don't know. Topics can be hard, and being assigned a topic can be hard. So, anyway. Another thing that we have been doing, kind of, you know, not related to school in the least, but I absolutely love game shows. So I've talked about this before. I'm totally an old soul through and through. Wheel of Fortune is my jam. I love that show. But the rest of my family, except my mom, does not really like that show. And so we have found another game show that we all love, which if you know my family, which I know, you know, most of you don't, obviously, but it is next to impossible to find something that we all enjoy watching because we're all so different. However, we found a show called The Weakest Link. We are watching it through Hulu. We actually don't have, you know, live TV, so I know it's still airing, so I'm not entirely sure another way to watch it except Hulu, but I'm sure there is other ways. Anyway, so it's called The Weakest Link. You kind of have to be a little bit prepared for it. The host is, I don't really know how to describe it. She's like really rude, but at the same time, it's just the character on the show, like it's how it's supposed to be. So I would never ever want to be on this show because I would not hold myself very well, I don't think, just because of some of the things that she says. But anyway, it's a really, really good show. The trivia is super fun because it's very modern, and so we actually know the answers to a lot of it. You know, it's random, but it's stuff that is, at least most of it has at least happened in our lifetime, which is something that we couldn't have said for most game shows in the past. So I'm really, we've really, really been enjoying that, and it's just hilarious to watch, and we've been really having fun with that. So if you really like game shows, I highly recommend that one. Again, be a little bit prepared because the host can be a little bit rude sometimes. But it's not, you know, I'm not saying that to be offensive. I'm just saying that as in, you have to go into it to be prepared that she's not going to actually offend you, but she is probably going to offend the people that are on the show. So just be a little bit aware of that. It's also really fun because, obviously, because of everything that's happened with COVID, a lot of TV has changed. But this show, just the way that it's laid out, all of the contestants are like naturally 6 feet apart. So it's, I don't know, it's pretty cool. Like it did change. There used to be a live audience, I think, and now there obviously isn't. But it's kind of really fun to see something that didn't have to change a whole lot in my eyes. Now, I'm sure, you know, they're wearing masks behind the camera and all of that jazz, but it just doesn't seem like something that has changed so much because of COVID and like a lot of other things that have changed so much. So anyway, we've been enjoying watching an episode of that in the evenings. It's been so fun. I have loved it so much. That is why I got my Boxy done, because it's kind of forced me to be still in it for a little bit. But yeah, so besides school and designing and having fun with the family, that is just about all I've been up to. I hope that you all have an amazing week or continue to have an amazing week. I am hoping to get a lot done this week and make it a good one. School is going to be a little bit more doable this week, I think, so I'm really grateful for that. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching episode 40. Can't believe we're already at 40. 50 is coming up before I know it, but I am so grateful to each and every one of you who has stayed with me this far. If you haven't already, I would love it if you took a moment to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you know each and every time I upload a new video, and check out all of the links in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all again next time. Bye.